Hi, Russ. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We're both in our home studios, which is a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I have to say they're doing they're changing our street lights, so there might be a bit of noise from my friendly Cumbria County Council.
Well, we've just got over digging, laying some new gas pipes outside ours, but thankfully they're a bit further down the road now, so you won't hear a thing.
Exciting stuff. Anyway, Russ, you and I are sort of ships that pass through the night. We don't, even when we're in the studio, we don't get to see each other very often. So it's really nice to chat.
Yes.
Now, there's two things that I know about you. One, that you have been on stage for, I mean, forever. You've been doing lots and lots of performances most of your life. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I started to get into it at school. My dad moved down to Leicester from Barrow. I was born in Barrow, but my dad moved down to Leicester to seek work. And I was doing quite well in drama at school in Leicester, and that's the way it was going to go. And then, unfortunately, my mum passed away when I was 14.
Oh, wow.
So my dad decided to come back home to family in Barrow. And, of course, swapping secondary schools as it was then, in my last 2 years, totally threw everything that I'd planned. I basically got what I was given when I came back because it was such long notice. And I actually didn't start up again on stage until the 1988. I was married and had a daughter by then. The 1988 shipyard strike.
Okay. Wow.
And we found out they were doing the mystery plays at Furness Abbey. And so we originally went along because we found out they wanted leaflet distributors, and every day you got into a van and went up the lakes and handed leaflets out, or went to Morecambe or went to Blackpool. And that was the original reason that we did it, because we had absolutely no money. I mean, this was a 12-week strike with no money. So we'd literally had no money, but we were getting days out as a family. And then, and then they asked us if we would go in to the mystery plays as extras and things like that. And it sort of took off from there. So here I am 20 odd years, 30 odd years later, still doing it and still loving it.
Yeah. I that's the first sort of, stage story that involved industrial action.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Now, the other thing that is quite astounding is how you've spent lockdown. You've become a TikTok star. How did that happen?
That was absolutely crazy. I started messing about with TikTok to amuse myself, and I did one where I sang "Islands in the Stream" to a bottle of wine. And
What, you didn't go for Neil Diamond?
I haven't done a Neil Diamond yet. That'll give me, that's a thought.
Oh, no, yes. Is it Cracklin' Rose?
Yeah, or Red Wine, but I've done the UB40 version of Red Wine. But and all of a sudden, this has gone absolutely global. On other social medias, it's hit over 1 million views. On TikTok, it's hit over 1 million views. I've got a second one that's today is 995,000 views. It's heading to 1 million. I've got something like 37,000 followers. And I wake up every morning with it's wonderful, from messages from all over the world. Literally Africa, Zimbabwe, South Africa, all over the world, Australia, America, Canada, and it's just crazy. But the funny thing is, I try to do other things. I try to do other sketches, which get pretty well received. They're all right, but the folks seem to like me drunk with a glass of red wine in my hand. And put him on with a woolly hat and a glass of red wine in his hand, and I hit 100,000 views. It's crazy. They just seem to like me drunk.
Well, we've got a little bit of time left. Let's talk about your shows, because you have some shows during the week, but you also do Showstoppers. So,
yes.
Can you tell us what Showstoppers is?
Showstoppers is based on musicals. I'd like to involve the local amateur music scene, because that's something I'm very heavily involved in. And of course, we're all in a dilemma at the moment because shows have been cancelled. Really, there is no way forward at the moment. And I'm discussing, I've got one this Sunday with Nick Collins from Abbey Musical, and I've spoken to other chairmen and other people involved with other societies, is that we can't even get as far as the rehearsal stage, because singing is still considered high risk for contracting COVID. So you can't have 20, 30 people in the room singing. So until we get past that stage, the thought of any production is gone. So it's a very, very sad time. I mean, musical theatre around here was phenomenal. It is. I mean, it puts bums on seats. People love it. The quality of productions around here, I would put it up against other areas, because it is just of the highest quality. But at the moment, the societies are just in limbo at the moment and not knowing which direction to go. Because, I mean, once you've got past the rehearsal stage, there's the how a theatre's going to cope with seating. If you go to what we call cabaret seating, where everybody sits separate at a table, that's not viable, because you've got to pay rights to music publishers. So it wouldn't be viable to put the shows on. So it's quite a difficult time for local amateur theatre.
Okay, so we've got to wrap this up. So can you tell us when we can hear you on CANDFOM and give me your request?
Okay, you can hear me on Thursdays between 4 and 6, Fridays between 3 and 5, and Sunday is Showstoppers between 5 and 6. And my request is, it's not a musical one, it's Blue Oyster Cult and Don't Fear the Reaper. And I've requested that because I'm supposed to be going to see them in October, because they're supporting Deep Purple, but that's up in the air, as most things are.
Oh, thanks so much for chatting.
Okay, take care.